let's flip a coin. Heads Carolina, tails California.
Okay, this is Andy Graham of the Ask Andy Show. I'm in Orland, Indiana. I've had to stop over and see my mom on the way to Europe. I also putting a bunch of products on the Amazon to sell, so I needed to take a little longer trip. I'm on the Fawn River. It's one of these feeder rivers. Probably by the time it does, it gets all the way to the Mississippi, I think. I don't know where it ends up. But how often, here I have a question by Joshua W. How often is your anticipation of visiting a place better than the actual experience? I answer global questions because I've been traveling nonstop for 16 plus years and went to 90 countries. How often is your anticipation of visiting a place better than the actual experience? I anticipate that you'll find many beautiful women in southeastern Europe. It's got a little smiley face. I think I will. And I like to go to countries where I was studying which ones were Christian, because Christian countries are always better than Muslim countries, right? How often is your anticipation of visiting a place better than your actual experience? I don't really understand the question because I don't anticipate trips that much. I can only think of one time that the anticipation of visiting a place was actually, I went to Cité Soleil, which is supposed to be one of the world's most, Haiti. I went to Haiti, and Haiti was supposed to be a very dangerous place. And I went to Cité Soleil, which is supposed to be one of the worst ghettos on the planet. And it was very organized, very clean, and very nice. And I was quite disappointed because I was expecting to go into some really thing. Now, on the other side is I'm quite proud of Haiti, that Haiti's a really nice country and really safe to go to. Actually safer than the Dominican Republic. But that's the only time I can really say that my anticipation was really let down. And it was actually better than my situation. The situation was much better. I was expecting some really a challenge, and I guess that's one of my things is I do anticipate some challenges, and then I'm quite disappointed when I get there to find out that they're not a challenge. And I will tell you this, that please, whatever you see as some romantic, robust adventure travel is normally bullshit, okay? And if they're taking you tours, it's for sure bullshit, because you couldn't take a tour on a real adventure trip. Adventure trip would mean you'd have to inspect the person to see whether or not they're capable of doing the trip. I've offered adventure trips, and I'll do adventure tours. It's $500 a day, but to go to places like Afghanistan or Iraq or someplace that you really want to go to, but I'd have to see you, and I'd have to know whether I could weigh you up to see whether you could do the trip, because there's ways to go everywhere, but I mean some of these trips can require where you're going to walk 20 miles a day or something like that, or 10 miles a day, and just by accident, not because we plan it, just because something goes wrong, the bus breaks down and we got to walk, right? And I don't read about places anymore. I don't study places anymore. I do very little to truly know the places I'm going to. I usually just like to land on my feet like a cat and think, because that's kind of the challenge to me, is to just see it stark, crude, raw, the way it is, and make my own opinion, as opposed to reading some people that's trying to form opinion. I don't read travel writers because they lie so much. I really get disappointed in most travel writers. They glamorize, romanticize, and they make these things into great adventures and journeys and all this stuff. And I've been doing it for 16 years. It's not for everybody. It's just for me. And it's a great life. It's a great lifestyle. But on the other end, it's not something. Most of what I can do, anybody and everybody can do. I do realize that some of these trips, like what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go do about 10 countries in Europe in 4 months, and I'm going to do it mostly by buses. I'm not going to, a few planes, but mostly by buses. And it's going to be pretty rigorous. And most people can't control their bladder, and they can't control their temptations, and they basically need to get drunk a few times and all this stuff, and they're going to get themselves in trouble. And I'm not prone to all these things, and I'm not a I can basically live without eating. I was laughing. The Norwegian Airlines wants $40 for lunch, or $26 or $36 for lunch, or something like that, on the plane. And for $36, I won't eat on the plane. I don't care. If I don't eat for 24 hours, I don't care. And these are things that you can do. And can you fast for a week? I've fasted for 7 days before, and not eaten for 7 days. Can you fast for 1 day? These are some of the tests of yourself, of your spirit, to do it. But the anticipation, there's so many places on the planet, and I've been to 90 countries. They're all kind of fun, okay? And I don't build them up. They're all fun. Some are not as fun as you think. I really wish I would have spent 1 week in Vilcabamba, in a way, because it was one of the most boring places I've ever been on the planet, because it was full of Americans, and they're trying to make it into an American colony, and I didn't really want to I don't like to hang around with Americans, because it's nothing new, right? But it was a very clean place, a very nice place. But good question, but go find yourself a memory, and you realize that everybody else that's writing about the memory is lying. Travel writers, never trust them. My friend Bob W. in Vilcabamba gave me a thing. I was writing about Ebola, and I asked, supposedly some people got kidnapped in Vilcabamba, and I was writing, did somebody really get kidnapped? It's really lacking in specificity. And he says, Andy, I never trust anything I read online. He's gone to 70 countries and traveled nonstop for 8 years. He's in remission right now. He says, I don't trust anything online unless it's on hobotraveler.com, my website. And I pride myself in telling you the real thing as best I can. And I make mistakes. But I try to give you just the way it is, not exaggerated. I don't try to make everything more beautiful. I am making Orland more beautiful than it is, because Orland is more beautiful than I ever make it. It's a very beautiful place.
We can pack up tomorrow.